Okay, so now today this is actually the title of this. It says this is a rotation, but I'm going to call it more practice with rotation. Page 45. Yes. This one here. Here you go. Now, it says right here, rotate 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to label my PQR. So P is at negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Q is at negative 4, 1, and R is at negative 2, 1. Okay, so I have those right there. So again, we're going to take this patty paper. Okay, remember. Okay, feel it, and you want the rough side. The rough side is the one that goes better. It writes on better. Now, as I'm putting it on here, what's the first thing I have to start with? Start what? Axis. Thank you. Good job. All right, mark the axis. Remember, we got to mark the axis so we know where to line up my paper. Put a little arrow going up. We did that yesterday also, but I didn't explain why. And I'm going to explain why for the arrow going up today.
Right. Why?
I said today.
Oh, okay.
Not right now. There we go. Now, we're going to take a look at the difference in between clockwise and counterclockwise. So if I had a clock, okay, here's my clock. There's 12, and there's my 3, there's 6, and there is 9. So clockwise goes this way, right? So clockwise go that way. And then counterclockwise counterclockwise is going to go opposite. Oh, most people can't read a clock anymore, so you know I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to assume anyone knows what a clock is.
There's a clock on Spain. I'm just playing. Bring me back.
Now, we're going to do 90 degrees clockwise. So, when we do this, we have our axes here lined up. See these axes right here?
Yeah.
So, the little arrow that goes up, okay, so that's going to be 90 degrees in between each axis. So, if this goes all the way over to here, that's 90 degrees. If it goes all the way down to here, that's 180, very good. And if it goes over to here, 270, then back around it's 360, right? Okay, so we're going to use that. So now, it depends if I'm going to turn it left or I'm going to turn it right. So first we're going to do is clockwise. So clockwise, I'm going to turn it and make sure you line up your axes, right? Right here. Put it there. There we go. I have it lined up. And push through right there.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, hold on. Go ahead.
Back to what? everyone okay? Questions? Go ahead, speak.
Is the arrows like where the shape going?
Okay, the arrow is what we're turning.
Yeah.
So if it's going clockwise, I'm turning my arrow this way,
I
right?
know, but like, is it shaking it like, is it going towards? I'm not explaining it.
So,
Why did you turn it once?
okay, because it said 90 degrees. So every time, so it's 90 degrees from here to here. Because isn't this a right angle here?
Yes.
And a right angle is 90 degrees, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I turn it, so if I start here, and I turn it just the length of that, that's 90 degrees.
Okay, so what would 30 degrees are?
30 degrees would be somewhere in between, and we usually don't do 30 degrees.
Okay.
So if we're on a coordinate plane, we're not going to do 30 degrees. There is a way of doing it, but you would have to have a protractor and compass for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what degrees would be if you turned it twice? Would it be 180?
Yes, because it's 90 twice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Turn that off. Turn it off.
I get you now, Pop.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have this here. So I labeled this one right here Q on my paper. So what am I going to call the dot underneath that? Nope.
Q prime.
Q prime. So it's Q prime. All right, so this one over here is going to be
R prime, or P prime.
P prime. Very good. P prime. And my last one?
R prime.
Very good. All right, so let's take a look. So now we're doing this one here. So where is P prime located at?
4, 3.
So it's 4 up 3. 4, 3. Q prime is
1,
1
2,
and 4. Right? Because it's Q. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Q prime is 1, 4. And R prime is
1 and 2.
1, 2. All right, now it's time to make a rule. Now let's just look at these two. Actually, we can look at any of them here, and it's all going to do the same thing. Okay, so what's going to happen here? So looking at it, what's happening? It switches. So can you tell me what goes here?
just the 9. Or negative.
Positive Y.
The y. It is the y, if you notice. Look at all the x values here, right? Isn't that what the y values were?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a y right here. Now look at these over here.
Negative X.
Oh, that.
Negative x, very good. Dang, listen to this guy. Shows up to class 3 days in a row. He's teaching it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's pretty easy, isn't it? So this next one, we're going to use this one over, where's it at? Okay, it's down here. You're going to use the rule when we actually comes time. We're going to do this one and using a rule instead. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. 90 degrees counterclockwise. So I'm going to start with I'm going to do this again because I don't want to move the move. I want to move the original. So I'm changing this all to single prime, not double prime.
What?
Okay, all these right here should be single tick marks, not double. Because if it's double prime, that means I move the move. I move this one here.
All right.
But I'm going to move this one. So now it says 90 degrees counterclockwise. So now which way do I rotate this?
The other
The other way.
The other way to the
Isn't it?
left, to the left. All right, so let's take a look. Have it all lined up. So let's start by labeling it now. So which one am I going to label first?
P.
Nope.
R.
Q prime. Because why? I put Q on my paper, right? To know which one is supposed to be Q. Okay, oh, no. Okay, yeah, you're fine. I'm just telling you, I started with Q on this one. But you label them all. So this is Q. So this would be Q prime. So that means this one over here would be
R prime.
R prime. And this one is?
P prime.
Very good.
Why does it matter which one you start with?
Yeah.
I only wrote Q on my paper so I know which one's which. Because if you mess it up, if you put Q and R in the wrong place, you're not gonna get the rule. You're not gonna get the information out of it that you need.
I got the whole thing right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so let's take a look now. So since I have this right here, let's go ahead and do the P prime. So what was P prime? Where's it at?
-4, -3.
So you said -4, -3,
-1, -4.
it's going to be, you said -1,
-4.
-4,
-1,
negative,
Two.
and then negative x and negative y and negative x.
so it should be -1 and -2, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Negative y and then negative x. Y is first.
Okay, so let's see. You said what? So we're from the original,
They switched. So y is first.
Negative y.
And then negative x.
and then what?
Negative X.
Just X.
Just X.
Because isn't the x's value the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Porter, talk about
Yes, -y and x. Yes, go ahead. Not you.
Wait, hold on. Why is it not negative x if it's in the negative?
Okay, is this same? Is this the same as this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't change, then
It
you,
stays X.
if you put negative x here, that means it's going to change the signs. That would make this one a positive. Yes or no?
Yes.
Is this exactly the same as this?
Yeah.
So do we change it at all?
No.
So whatever your x value is, just goes there.
Yeah. So if it changes to negative, it'll be negative X.
Yeah, you would have a negative x if it changes signs. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at, I'm going to do this one right here. So we're going to do this one. So it says rotate this one 180. So let's take my, first let's go through and label it. So F is at 1, -1. U is 1 and
Negative 2.
N is
Negative
2 and -2. Hate to break up the conversations over there, but could you please pay attention?
We are. Alright.
You're paying attention to her.
No, I'm not.
2. Yeah.
exposing.
All right, you guys ready? Let's use my patty paper here. So, first thing, what do I mark?
The
Just
axis.
Axis. And what was important to do?
The arrow.
The arrow.
Arrow up, so that tells you where you start at. There, I'll put them all on there for you. All right, let's take a look. So my first one says we're going to do 180 degrees counterclockwise. So that means I'm going to move it 90 twice, right? So which way does my arrow going to go now?
Facing down.
It's going to go straight down. So let's go counterclockwise. So let's go counterclockwise. So there's 90 and there is 180.
Oh, I got that right there.
All right, so let's go ahead and mark those. Okay, make sure you label it. N prime, U prime, and F prime. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys something. So we did what? 180 counterclockwise, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if it goes 180 clockwise? Let's see. Let's do clockwise. There's 90. Wait, nope, wrong way. Clockwise. There's 90, and then there's 180. That puts us in the exact same spot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if it's moving 180 degrees, it doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. So it's going to be in the same spot. All right, let's go ahead and we got this. So F prime is -1 and 1. U prime is
-1, 2.
N prime
-2,
2 and 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't really use this one, can I?
Nope.
Because we don't know if it's just changing signs or if it's changing the X and Y, does it?
It's just hours.
We don't know if it's changing signs or changing X and Y. So let's look at one of these other ones. If you have the same number, you don't want to use that one. Let's just use the U. Okay, we're going to use the U to try and figure out what is happening. So what happened to my X value?
It's just like
Oh, it went negative. So is it still X?
No, it's negative.
Yeah, it's negative X. So negative X. Okay, what happened to my Y's? Became positive, so I put what? Negative Y. So if I move 180 degrees either direction, it's going to be negative X, negative Y. Does that make sense? You guys ready for the 270? 270 clockwise. So let's take a look. So if each one of these is 180, each one's 180, how many times do you have to move it?
3 times.
3 times. Let's see. So 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I moved it 3 times. Let's see, I have N prime, U prime, F prime. Now again, I'm going to change this from double prime to single prime because I moved the original one, not the one that I already rotated. Okay, so let's put our let's put F prime is going to be at 1, 1. U prime is at 2, 1. Very good. 2, 1. And N prime? 2, 2. Again, I run into that same issue. I can't use the same numbers, right? So those ones don't work out. Those ones don't work out because I don't know what's happening here. So 270 clockwise. Let's just look at the U values. Okay? Let's look at the U values. So what's going to happen here? What happens?
The 1 stays the X stays the same, the Y changes.
The X stays the same, but now what am I going to put right here in the X value?
Why?
The Y. Am I going to put the Y?
Negative Y.
Negative Y. It is going to be negative Y because it's a negative here and it became positive here, right?
Yeah.
That's negative Y. And then what happened to the X value?
Negative.
Stay the same. So it's now in the position of where the Y was, right? So that's going to be just X. Now look at my other rules. So 270 clockwise is the same as what? 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, let's see if that's true. So let's see if that's true. So 270 clockwise should be the same as 90 counterclockwise. So let's take a look. So I'm starting here. There it is there. And so let's go 90 degrees counterclockwise. Does that put it in the same spot? Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same spot. It's the same thing. So these rules right here are the same because it ends up in the same spot. Does that make sense? Anyone have any questions over this?
No, sir. Easy.
Okay, I want to see you guys. So now, if I move it 360, where does it end up at?
Same spot.
Same spot. Okay, so I want to see you guys practice these two right here. And then I'm going to come around and look at it. And then it's going to be time to work on your practice. The practice I handed you today is for 44. This is reflections. That's what we did on Tuesday. If you look at your page 42, that one's the rotations. So you can do that one too. All right? All right, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to come around. Ugh.